All right, let's just jump right in. All right, so Jandis Barov. I'm starting here because this is cheating. I think this is the easiest way to start off. Morning, Doomsday. That yes, I was on Discord later than that, Hockey. Well, I'm glad to have you, Jay. Hockey, I have made many mistakes in the near past and in the distant past about my sleep schedule, but I will say that the most recent 12 hours probably include multiple mistakes. It is what it is. What are you going to say? Janice Barov, I think, is an easy place to start. In Rogue, this is just so much stuff. A2 ran some numbers, and apparently, on average, this is going to be a 10-7 across three bodies. So, a 10-7 across three bodies is worth 5 mana. I am playing this in almost every Rogue deck, I think. Good morning, Kite. How's this going behind my left shoulder? How's it going over there? She's there-ish? You can't see it. It's over there. Morning, Forest. Good morning. Good morning, Enthrallment. Is my camera in the right? I'm gonna mess with my camera right now because I can. Ah, there's a hand. Yes, she's all the way over there. Chat says hello, hand. My camera settings. Um, but what is the dislike for Jandis about? Like, it's just a bunch of stuff, and then sometimes you high roll. Yeah, it's stats. It's stats. Of course, my camera settings app needs to update right now. But yeah, feel free to make your own tab and all that, and you can rate the cards the same way that I'm rating the cards. It is a community rating sheet, and we get to see the averages at the end. It's pretty cool. All right, so we talked about Janice Barrow. Let's talk about Dr. Krasnov. Um, this is Greenskin that's better when your opponent has minions and worse when your opponent doesn't. There's also, a 5 mana 4/4. It's also just like, hold on, you're gonna see my camera jump around a little bit. There we go. That is better. Okay. So a greenskin that is better by a lot when your opponent has minions, and worse by a little bit when it doesn't. I uh, I am trying to think. We will probably play this in a rogue deck that would play greenskin that doesn't care about pirates. Now, I don't think we have any pirate synergy cards in standard right now that really would care about greenskin. I don't know when we would play greenskin right now, but like we played with this effect before in a weapon heavy deck that seems worth doing, and it's recurring over time. So if there's ever a world where this lives twice, it's clearly insane. Um, I think, yeah, the rogue set does revolve a lot around weapons. I think this card is decent. I think this card is solid. In Warrior, I think they're more pirate focused, but I do think that this card seems fine. Like, I don't think it's really exciting, but I think there are a lot of decks where you just kind of play it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting excited about this card. We're not building around it. I think if we cut it, then we cut it. Yeah, it's definitely too expensive for the Secret Passage deck, but I feel like there will be decks that will play this over time, and it will be fine. But also, I believe there will be people will ask, "How do I replace this card?" and we will have good answers. Forsaken Lillian is kind of the same thing. Forsaken Lillian, you need it in a board-based. Yeah, if Janice, that would be pretty cool, actually. Janice is nuts. Infiltrator Lillian, you need to care about you're a stealth deck, but not a super aggressive stealth deck. What's up, Squatch? And so if you're a stealth deck, but not a super aggressive stealth deck, if you're a lower curve stealth deck, Kingsbane and Wild, I kind of see that. Maybe Ben from work. I hope so. Well, how's it going, man? We have to be like we don't necessarily have to be stealth specific. I guess we could just kind of be a reasonable mid range rogue deck. Like it, this could go in Galakron rogue. This could go in Galakron rogue. It's not a key support. It's not making any deck more viable, is it? Like we already have the stealth stuff, but it's just kind of good on board. It's just a universal shredder ish effect. But I feel like there are plenty of decks that would be synergy based that wouldn't have room for this, and I think that's fine. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there were synergy based decks that just kind of drop it. Because, like, the effect is somewhat unique, I suppose, but I think it's also easy enough for your opponent to disrupt this if you want. Like, you can't, it's not really a fantastic threat in a board-based matchup. I guess it depends on the kind of board-based matchup. Like, if you're going wide, it trades with two things. But if it's more like a Highlander Hunter, I think it trades with two bigger things. Yeah, stealth synergy. It's not a stealth synergy minion because you really want ones and twos for that. But I do think just like a solid card. I think just solid. What do we do with this in Rogue? What do we do with this card? I've tried to think about this card in every possible scenario, and it always just seems like kind of it's trying to cheat, but it costs too much to do that. It's trying to cheat, but it costs too much to do that. Yeah, Shadowcaster, but a lot worse. Yes, it is a much, much worse Shadowcaster. Um, it gives you 1 mana cards. No, it gives you, but it costs 5 mana, right? Like the first combo card costs like 5 mana. There's something, but a lot of it depends on. It's the line that is the tagline for Scholomance. If I have the board, if I start the turn with the board, I don't know. I have no idea what to do with this card. I'll give it a 2. There we go. Figured out the reason why I'm rating it the way I am. I don't know. I feel like I would rather play Shadow Step every time over this card. I would need a reason to play this over 2 Shadow Steps. Like a big reason. Secret Passage is insane. So build around as a reminder. Build around as a definition means it is deck defining and it dictates the choices in your deck. And there is no way that Secret Passage is in your deck and it does not dramatically influence how that deck is built. When Secret Passage is in your deck, your average curve should be low. The amount of card draw you play should be relatively low. I think probably just Secret Passage and Cutting Class probably, because you really don't want to draw cards after you've played this, because then they get put back in your deck. But in a super low curve, really aggressive deck, a really really low curve super aggressive deck, I like it. Just seems 1 mana draw 5. It just seems like Solarium 2. I'm glad that you were energized A2. This seems like Solarium 2, but like Solarium for more cards. It seems bonkers. I don't know if this is a 6. I don't know, but if it was, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm leaving this as a build around. Yeah, this isn't Myra's, this is Solarium. There's a Solarium you can play too, but like it effectively is the same as Myra. So like it's pretty close. It's right in between the two because it's in Rogue, right? And so you put in if this card if we play if we are putting Sinister Strike in a deck ever, something needs to get nerfed. Secret Passage and Secret Passage, it's double swap back. You would end up with your original hand. It's similar with Myra's, and also, but like if we could play 2 Solariums, we would do the same thing. It is fundamentally nearly identical to Solarium. Steel Dancer feels like a warrior card. You have to want a big weapon with Steel Dancer, but you have to like not need the synergy for it. I don't know if it's a 1 mat. I don't know if that's true. Because there are times when you're gonna play some kind of weapon in the mid game, and this is just gonna be 4 mana for an 8/8. Alright, if you have a self sharpening sword, if you have a self sharpening sword on 3, and you go attack and attack, then you have a 4/4 and a random 3 drop. Would we play a 4 mana 4/4 that summons a random 3 drop? Like, would we play a 4-mana 4/4 and summons a random 3-drop? And how many classes? I think we would. I'm pretty sure we would. So, this is not always that. This is worse than that. But, like, the cost that you're getting if this hits for a 3-drop is awesome. If you're hitting a 2-drop, it's just a shredder, except you get the second body up front, which I guess makes it kind of like a Satyr Overseer, except it takes way more work and is less consistent. If it hits 3-drop or higher, I agree, Hockey. It's definitely good if it hits 3-drop or higher, and if it doesn't hit 3-drop, then I'm not sure. I completely disagree with you, Squall. 100% disagree with you. Oh no, Matt! It's a nightmare! What's up, Flea? Steel Dancer, I think the question is there are two questions here. How consistently can we make this work? How consistently can we make this work? And then when we do that, how good is it? I think the answer is not that consistently and good when it works. So if it's something inconsistent, I think I'm okay with this. If we can consistently hit Scimitar, then sure, but activating Scimitar is hard. I think that this is a better card in Warrior, but I kind of don't mind it in Rogue. Like, so the thing about a 2 is indicating that it's a tech or fringe card. I think this is either going to be a filler support card or bad. Like, if it's too inconsistent, then that's bad. It's not a 2. It's not a fringe card. It's a 1. It's bad. If it makes enough stats, then I think it is reasonable. Having freeze in Rogue seems just really scary. This seems really good in Rogue. This seems strong in Rogue. I feel like Rogue having access to freeze is just like a bad idea. What's up, Firewalk? But yeah, and we don't play Steel Dancer and Passage decks for sure, and Passage is much more important. These cards do not go in the same deck. Because this costs more than 3, so we probably don't play it in Passage deck. I feel like, would we play Brain Freeze and Galakron Rogue right now? I think probably not. What would we be playing this for? Because it doesn't go face. Freeze and Rogue is scary, but this doesn't go face. And the Rogue decks that we have don't actually build that much of a board that we care about that we can't swing back. Yeah, this would be an insane Miracle Rogue card. Gosh, this looks so strong, but I think it's actually not that good. Yeah, I love the art. I don't know when we would play this, unless the set was specific. Also, if this could freeze face, it would be so much better. If we could freeze face, this would be so much better. Because we're playing Shadow Weaver, but it targeted face, I think, like, I would guess 80% of the time. I think it would be 80% of the time. Enthrallment, do not. I will spend 90 minutes talking about that and review 0 more cards. Do not bait me. I will get baited. It will be bad. It's bring back 1-mana Cold Blood. Yeah, Firewalk, I think the expansion is spicy. I think the overall power level is a lot lower than what people are thinking. But I like the cards a lot. I think the design is great, and I think the set is sneaky balanced. Sneaky balanced is how I'm going to phrase it. What am I playing Coerce? 3-mana Execute is kind of medium. Obviously, combo kill thing is great. But it's not in the It's not in the Secret Passage deck, is it? We could play this in the Secret Passage deck, but we don't want to. It's so bad off Secret Passage. Is this a warrior card? But, like, okay. Combo 3 mana kill a thing. I guess if we're not playing Sap, this is kind of worse than Sap. Really good off Secret Passage? I guess so, but it doesn't do damage? Like, but I guess it depends how much mana we're doing. If we're on, like, turn 6. And we go Secret Passage, Coerce, something. I would rather play Sap. Should cut. Matt, I want Vilespine back. I love Vilespine. Also, don't reprint Vilespine. It's probably not safe for them enough, but... If we're Secret Passaging, I would rather just Sap. Hey, what's up, Craptasm? And if we're not playing Sap right now, I don't see us playing this, but I see worlds where we run this. There are definitely worlds where we do so. But yeah, in a Druid meta, exactly, Hockey, but so is Sap. Sap is great in a Druid meta, right? Yeah, well, Priest and Warlock, they get A on Reavers, which is much worse. But yeah, I like Brittlebone can be better. Alright, Self-Sharpening Sword. Not right now, no, I don't think this is good right now. I think this is... well, like, they can replay Mount Seller. It depends what our rogue deck is doing. If we're fighting for board over time, then sure, this is better than Sap. Wait, so, okay. People are talking about a 3-mana weapon that attacks for 10 total damage as being bad. I don't understand. I don't understand why this is... We attack for 1, then for 2, then for 3, then for 4? Did I do that right? Attack for 1, attack for 2, attack for 3, attack for 4. Like, it's... I am surprised that people are low on this. Also, if we Deadly Poison this attacks for 18? Like, maybe we don't have Deadly Poison. Maybe we don't have the weapon buff that we need. But yeah, it does enable all the other cards. This is the card that we need for the weapon deck to work. 3-mana attack for 1, attack for 2, like, fine. How many times have we daggered? How many times have we daggered on 2? And also, Cutting Class is a big deal. I don't know if we're playing Toxin Blade. It's, like, I don't know about Kingsbane. Like, I'm not sure. You're gonna Deadly Poison this, and it's gonna define a game. Dagger doesn't cost a card, but this, like, theoretically, this should recoup some cards with Cutting Class. I don't know. I feel like we play this. Most of the time. I feel like in most aggressive rogue decks we play this. But this is not the build around. Build around is Secret Passage, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure the build around is Secret Passage. And sometimes you will Secret Passage into this. Sometimes you will top deck this, and it's not great. We need weapon buffs to make sure it's good. But I feel like that 4 attacks is worth having. I feel like it saves you mana over time, because we'd normally be redaggering twice. I like this card a good bit. I really do. Yeah. Yo, Magma Skull, thank you for this tier 1 sub. Hats off to you. 4-month streak. Thank you so much. Hats off. Welcome. Glad to have you. I mean, yeah, every weapon is usable. I think this is the key support to the weapon deck. I think you don't build the weapon deck without this. Any 6s yet? Yes, Nature Studies Firewalk. And I haven't done a Wild impression yet, because smarter people than me are evaluating this for Wild. But Nature Study seems like a really scary card. And I think Secret Passage is on the line. Yeah, like, if it gets oozed, then we're unhappy. Like, that's gonna happen. Is that true? That is kind of true, Matt. But, like, playing it kind of oozes yourself because yeah. I mean, things dying to removal does happen, and I do think that ooze is really devastating here. Thanks, Firewalk. Ooze is really devastating here. I'm not going to say that's inaccurate. Oozing this is really, really, really bad for us, and the top deck is mediocre. And we are relying on weapon buffs for this, but also this enables a lot of stuff. So I like this card, and I think that it's pretty relevant. 4 mana, 4/4 stealth. Add a combo card to your hand. I mean, it kind of replaces itself, but random combo cards are pretty bad. Because I wanted Whirlikick Master. Well, we would still play Hook Scimitar, wouldn't we? We tried to play Whirlikick Master for like a minute. It replaces the spell. It does not necessarily replace the spell. Because if it replaced the spell, it would give you a combo spell, but it can give you a combo card. So enjoy your Defias Ringleader. Because, yeah. Looks like, I see that. Yeah. Yo, Flavortown Hero. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Hats off to you. Give my regards to the people of Flavortown. They speak of you often. I tried to get a one-way ticket there, but there's no travel right now. So, I have postponed my Flavortown vacation till next year. I don't know when I'd play this. Like, it's kind of a thick stealth minion. 4 mana, 4/4 stealth. The deal isn't bad here, I just don't know when I'd want it. I don't want this. Are we building around Cutting Class? Are we building around this card? This card seems kind of bonkers. To me. And maybe this is, like, I think this is better in Rogue than it is in Warrior, but there are going to be so many times this is like an... Is this an Aeroponics? Is this a Solemn Vigil? It like... I don't know if this is a Solemn Vigil, or an Aeroponics, or a... something else. We have to play this. We're playing this. A trap with a trap inside it. The reader point is well taken, Hockey. It's if we deadly poison, it's not AI, it's research project, right? It's 3 attack, so this would cost 2. And if we ever have a 3 attack weapon, this is great. If we ever have a 2 attack weapon, we don't actually want to play AI and Rogue, right? You know, I don't know about this card now. I don't know about this. Draw 2, if this costs, yeah. So this is only good, but anytime you play Toxin Blade with any weapon, we get this back. Yeah, we don't want to play AI ever. I don't want AI. So the weapon needs to have 3 attack or less. AI is medium draw. AI is not a good draw, it's medium draw. We play it because Mage has to play it and because it's something, but no, I do not think AI is good draw. It's not tunnel visioning Fortune Hunter, it's that just like damage is where we want to be. And Secret Passage is the best way to do damage. And building a deck without Secret Passage, if we aren't drawing extra cards in large quantities, I don't think the weapon deck is good because you need to build it with a critical massive burn. We have gone through Priest. Yeah, we did that yesterday, Major Maskin. Just finished up on Priest last night. And I'll be doing VODs of each class on the YouTube. I would be careful about trying to do stealth and weapons, Krebmart. I do think there's something there with Sage. So this is in a different deck. This is in a deck that has weapons. This deck has weapons and doesn't want to go really, really aggressive. Elman KO, thank you for the follow. This is a card for a deck that wants to play, like, Waggle Pick. This is for some other different deck. This is for some other different deck. You really don't want to cut in class after your Secret Passage, though. It sucks. Hmm. This is not a Rat Trap. Rat Trap punishes you on the board. Rat Trap is damage. This is value. Rogue doesn't need more value. A Secret Rogue deck does not need more value. I like this to make triggers more difficult, but that is not a reason to play a card. And Dirty Tricks gets this card that we included in our deck, whereas this card gets you your opponent's cards at full cost that they played on curve with questionable synergy. It does make the triggers harder, and sometimes you get minions. But you could play this, yeah, you could play this in Highlander Rogue. You could play this in a deck where you have 1x secrets. I believe, it depends on when we play it. It's a secret that you don't want to play early game, right? I don't know. This card gets better when my opponent has better turns, but also if they're ahead, I'm just not sure. It's a secret we don't want to play early game. I think it's pretty narrow. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So plagiarize is a card that we won't play, but it existing makes Secret Rogue better. Because your Hanar gets better and people's play gets worse around the possibility of plagiarize. So because the secret pool gets better, Secret Rogue gets better, and we probably don't play this card and still the deck improves slightly. Very slightly. Though also the rest of the meta gets better, so I don't know. This is a 3-mana 3/3 that is only good if we have a weapon that has to stick. It is, yeah, +2, +0. And if we're playing this card, we are optimistic. So the reason to play this is to dagger on 2 and then hit for 3 on turn 3. Assuming we're daggering on 2. Yeah. Assuming we're daggering on 2 and our opponent has a 3/3, exactly, Hockey. We have to... So our opponent has to have 1 minion that would die to +2 attack in the dagger the turn we play it. And that wouldn't have died to our dagger otherwise. It is not Deadly Poison on a body. Because Deadly Poison sticks unless your opponent has an ooze. This dies to any removal card, and then your +2 attack goes away. So, I don't know. Was the meta an X3 meta before? It kind of sort of was. This was also a Guardian Og Merchant meta. And, I don't know. Maybe we're hitting Fairy Dragons. Maybe we're hitting Bone Chewer Brawlers. Or maybe our opponent has a Spy Mistress and this card sucks. Or, what's up, French Toast? Maybe, like, there's so many ways for this to go wrong. I think this is a trap. I think it's a trap. I also think this is a trap. Yeah, into Bone Chewer Namani is decent if our opponent is doing that. But it has to be a very specific scenario. Really, really specific. I think more often than not, it'll end up just being 2 extra damage to the opponent's face. So it'll be a head crack. Yeah, card review 2. Valpyra Tribal. Okay, I buy that. That is a reasonable argument. Get better. Am I getting better? I don't know if I am, but I appreciate that. What is the purpose this card is serving? What is the purpose? What's up? What's up, Stefanovic? But like you combo into a mage spell after you passage? Like there are a lot of mage spells. There are a lot of mage spells. There are so many mage spells. There are so many mage spells. How many of these do I actually want? We can't discover this one. How many of these do we actually want? Maybe we want access to devolving missiles. We don't want most of these. The secrets cost 1,000,000 mana. Side quests are options. Yeah, Want Thief definitely doesn't go in the passage deck, I don't think. I don't know when we play this. I don't think we play this. Yeah, the combo activator, don't sleep on the combo activator. The average mage spell seems good but expensive. So I think we would need to like have expensive card. I don't know. But we want to play a 1 mana 1/2 early. It's not a Firefly that immediately replaces itself because we have to pair it with something else early game. So I'm trying to figure out how many ones we're running. Because we're running, what, Pharaohcat and Spy Mistress? Yeah. The Highlander Rogue card makes sense. I think that putting this in a deck is a trap. Because it doesn't serve a consistent purpose. And I don't think it's actually a good tempo card.